We ready? We rolling? We got our producer in the house, Tiffany Brown. Do we have the producer?
I'm here.
We got the producer, Tiffany Brown. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here this afternoon with author Donavon Brown. We're going to be talking about his newly published book, The Color of Love. Donavon, man, it is an honor to have you up here this afternoon. This is fun. It's going to be great. And before you guys even try to make another decision, we want to let you know we're only going to capture you for about 20 minutes. So you can stay with us for 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere for 20 minutes, because if you miss it, it is Facebook Live. So it's not like you can just go back, hit the rewind button, and then come back and get that information. You missed it, you missed it. And you don't want to miss what Donavon has to say about this. But since we only got you for about 20 minutes, Donavon, let's dive in. Before we even begin to talk about what you've done, which I'm so glad to know that you've done in publishing this book, tell the listening audience just who is Donavon Brown.
I'm originally from Lawton, Oklahoma. I have two beautiful daughters that I'm raising. I have just now recently published my first book that I'm so very thankful for. I am a U of A graduate, alumnus of Little Rock, and I currently reside in North Texas.
U of A. Is that the University of Alabama?
Let's not get this misunderstood. That is University of Arkansas.
Oh, okay. We have to make it clear. University of Arkansas. We know the folks in Arkansas, man. They want to be defined. They want it to be clear.
Definitely.
They don't want no mistakes. And you say Alabama versus Arkansas, even the producer might have to hit a cut, man, because we got to make sure we get it right.
Go Hogs and go Trojans.
Oh, there you go. But, he is being interviewed by OH, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to get into the book, The Color of Love. Donavon, what inspired you, man, to write The Color of Love?
In today's social climate, I thought it was just important for me to ingest something, a little part of me into society that I think society needs right now. And that's the element of love, inclusion.
Okay, well, when you go that far, that early, sparks my interest, man. What's happening in society from Donavon Brown's perspective that compelled you to do this? Just give us a snippet of what's happening.
I think we don't have enough people that relates to other people, that respect other people's thoughts, opinions, matters, and their idealistic beliefs. And I just wanted to ensure that anything that I produce will be multicultural and will give everybody a unique perspective from all parts of society.
Man, that's great, because it leads into my next question about the book. It says there that I noticed in your book that there's a multicultural theme in this book. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that.
I was raised in the military. I had military parents, and so my diversity of my background and where I was brought, that played a part into who I am as a person, into how I write my books. And that's why I want to always include multicultural themes, because that's what I was raised around. I was raised around inclusion. Everybody for everybody, one for all, and we all stood for one. And so that's the essence of what I want to bring to my readers.
Man, I think this is going to be very, very good. But anytime you get to that point where you can make that kind of a decision to base a book based off of something of that nature, it goes into the root of who you are, where you came from. Let's talk about the setting, man. Where is the setting of this book, and what made you choose that setting where the story takes place?
I wanted to pay homage to my hometown of Lawton, Oklahoma, and that is exactly where the setting took place. I'm a child of that city. I'm proud to be from the L-Town, as they call it, and I wanted to bring a little light on that particular city, and bring it on the map, and to let my readers know that it exists, and it's a place that birthed me, and it's a place that I respect.
Lawton, Oklahoma. Now I'm getting excited again because of those of you who may know me, Kevin Zimmerman. I served 20 years in the United States military, and my very first duty assignment was Lawton, Oklahoma. Now I got something funny I do have to say about Lawton, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
Because I was born and raised in the inner city of Toledo, Ohio, and my dad was adamant, man, that I join the Army, and actually wanted me to serve 20 years before I had even served a day.
Yes.
But anyway, I go from Toledo, Ohio through basic training, and I land in Lawton, Oklahoma. And when I got in Lawton, Oklahoma, and I was on the military bus, what they call a limousine, and I said, when I said limousine from where I'm from, that's a stretch car. I was in the back of a van, and I saw this man walking a cow. He actually had a rope walking this cow. And then it struck my interest. I said, well, wait a minute. I know they don't have any sidewalks, so in my hometown in the city, you don't walk on anybody's grass. But what I found out quickly was, in spite of those differences of where I grew up, once I learned the people of Lawton, it was filled with so much love and acceptance. And I think the military town had a lot to do with that, because they brought so many folks there to Lawton. But that's what I called home. I said, Dad, they walking cows around here, man.
Beautiful.
But I tell you, Lawton is a place that's special to me as well. And so it's interesting that this story started there. Let's go into your main elements, sir. There are two main elements involved in this story. What are they?
Love and music. Those are the two main elements that are most ingrained into who I am as a person. Is love and music. I believe those two elements cross any boundaries. They will cross any boundary of hate, discrimination, of divide. Everybody can relate to those two elements, those two most important elements of life, is love and music.
It's interesting that you say that, because I remember riding in your car one day. and the first thing I remember is the seat was leaning way back. Now I'm in the passenger side, and so for those of you that are listening, I'm only 5'6", so you can imagine when the seat leaned back, then my feet kind of went up in the air a little bit. You know, I don't have a short guy syndrome, but it's just real. I wasn't blessed with height. You know, I wasn't 6'2", slim in the waist, cute in the face. People calling me Hollywood. None of that was happening. I leaned back, and so then I adjusted my seat, and I looked at your playlist. And when I looked at your playlist encompassed every brand of music. I saw country and western.
Yes.
I saw R&B.
Yes.
I saw like Katy Perry. What genre would that fall in?
Pop.
Pop. I saw pop, and I was actually fascinated. We kind of talked about it a little bit. And the first thing that you said was, I love music. And so for you to be able to tie that into this book, to me even creates a little bit more interest. Because the next question is, here you are, how tall are you, man?
I am 6'1".
You're 6'1".
Yes, that's why the seat was leaned back.
Okay,
Even the passenger seat.
but now that was the passenger seat.
Even the passenger seat leaned back.
Yeah, the passenger, you're right, you're right. So you 6'1".
Yes, sir.
And how much do you weigh?
Roughly 230.
Okay, 6'1", 230, but you chose to write a romance story.
I know, right?
Okay,
right?
now we're getting somewhere. It is not normal, I would say. No, that's not true, because we got men that do that. But you wouldn't expect firsthand, let me rephrase that. You wouldn't expect firsthand for a man 6'1", 230 to write his first book, and that book be a romance story.
Yeah.
So to me, that already sets you apart. If you guys don't get this one, look, you see I'm holding it. The one I'm holding is mine. I hope you are as fortunate as me. But tell them why romance.
Romance now, which is exclusively on Amazon. Had to plug myself, thank you. In digital format and on paperback format. I believe that authors can be pigeonholed to certain genres, and I don't believe that's fair to that particular author. I believe as a creator, as an author, you have the ability to write across multiple genres, and that's exactly what you should strive for. You should not let anybody dictate because of stereotype or because of certain beliefs that they have based upon look, 6'1", as you quoted, that I should write a certain novel. I have the ability to create across multiple genres, and that's what I will do. I just happen to choose my first book as a love story because I believe, like I said, that's what the world needed in this climate that we live in today. There's more positivity.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Thank you, for even saying to not allow anyone to dictate
Yes, sir.
what you're capable of doing. Man, we got so many gifts given to us that extend beyond what we could even ask or think. But we will let society put us in a box. And I can see here that you didn't You didn't do that. And as a matter of fact,
the picture. Yeah.
even the picture. When I first saw this, I thought it was something that I drew when I saw the exceptional talents and the artistry and all of that. But then I realized this is far beyond me. How did you get to this?
I believe it represented what I wanted to convey from the story that I'm telling and to the readers that I want to satisfy. I believe that it's just a picture of energy, and that's what we all encompass of. We're pure energy. Love is energy. Music is energy. Everything that we do has energy involved into it. And so when I seen that picture, it just reflected that belief. It's pure energy. You know, it doesn't tell you or specify what type of love. It's just love.
Hey man, when you saw this, did you think I drew it?
Nah, I think
Okay,
I think you draw a little better than that.
That's an honest answer. We can live with that. We can live with that. You know, you did something that I am so very proud of. You and I was having a conversation about this even before the director, Tiffany, showed up when we talked about writing a book. And the reason I'm proud of you for doing it is because you now have done something
Yes.
that will leave a lasting legacy long after you're gone.
Yes.
At this time, if there's someone out there that is lingering on should I write, should I not write, should I publish, should I not publish, what would you say to them?
I would say do whatever you think that it is that you can want to do, need to do, and have to do. Do never falter on what you think that you shouldn't do as far as completing it. If you're scared about doing it, whatever your favor is in life, do it. I'd rather live with failure than live with regrets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, man, we're going to talk about that writing process. Now, we're going to make a little bit of a transition here because you've done something now that, to me, validates you as someone who can inspire or encourage someone else to do it. Even though that happens all the time, where people who may not have done a particular thing should tell someone to do a particular thing, there's nothing like validation. And one of the things that I heard as I was growing up in life is do what leaders do. You know, if you wanna learn how to lead, do what a leader do. Then it said do what winners do. If you wanna win, then you gotta do what winners do. Well then, if we're gonna follow that principle, and you wanna follow someone and you wanna write a book, then do what someone that has written a book has done.
Yes.
In that vein, I want to ask you though, the kind of writer that you are. You know, are you an indie writer or are you a mainstream? What if you could describe that for us? Take a moment and do that for me.
Difference between an indie writer and mainstream writer. Indie writer is traditionally not funded by a publisher. They're self-funded, which I am. I'm an indie writer. And a traditional author is one that has a publisher behind them. They have a machine behind them that does all the marketing, that does all the creativity, as you see as that picture on the Color of Love book, which is on Amazon exclusively. Yes, that is the difference between an indie and a traditional writer.
Well, having said that, and now that we've made it public that you are an indie writer, folks, if you're listening, it's very important that you go out and you support Donavon here. If you would go out, buy the book, or contact someone who has the book. Allow them to share with you their opinion of the book. But get involved in his project. Back him up. Because, again, he doesn't have a producer or a publishing company behind him saying, okay, I tell you what, man, you're going to write this story, we're going to print out 1,001 copies, and if it doesn't sell, guess what? We're going to hit your pocketbook for what doesn't sell. But when you're able to go out as an independent author on your own volition and be able to produce something, for the people to get behind that is really, really something special. So we're encouraging you, back them up. Go out and buy The Color of Love by Donavon Brown. Once again, Donavon, what formats is this book available in, and where can they get it? Because, I mean, somebody might have just logged on, so we want them to know.
Yes, it's on exclusively on Amazon. It's in Kindle format, which is digital. for download, and it's also available in paperback format on Amazon.
Awesome. Look, man, let's get into the format for somebody that's writing here. Well, I'm sorry, not the format, but the process.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, if you've never written a book,
Yes.
this ought to be interesting.
Yes.
What is your writing process, and what was your favorite time, if you had a favorite time, to write?
I find inspiration to what I want to write in everything that I do. Whether it's at work, whether it's listening to music, or whether it's just riding around, I may see something that inspires me. I may make a mental note of that when I get home. I will put on some soft music as we have playing in the background, because that also motivates me. That's what moves me is music. And I will just commence to write. I will let my mind open up freely, and I will just write whatever comes to my mind.
When you're talking about writing and writing freely, Donavon, what is the hardest thing to write in this book? What was the hardest thing to write?
The hardest thing to write, honestly, was...
Honestly. We got to be honest now. We put a whole lot of
It will be the intimacy scene. The intimacy scene is the hardest part for me to write, because I wanted my book to be available for all readers of all ages. But I also wanted my story to be realistic, and in order for my story to be realistic, it has to have involved intimacy between the two main characters. So that was a difficult decision for me to make, and it was hard for me to write.
How tall are you?
6'1",
How about you weigh?
230.
Got bass in your voice? But that was hard to write.
It's hard to write.
Oh man, but I'm wondering if
I'm sorry to cut you. Only because the intimate scene is pretty much written from the female's perspective.
Oh, okay.
That's the catch.
Okay, because I was about to say, we were sitting around watching the Dallas Cowboys game, and we talk about it. Because guys, we can talk one-on-one, but now you're opening this up, Donavon, to an audience, and have to say you did an excellent job at doing so. Now, in order for them to realize as good a job as you've done, where do they have to go?
Amazon for paperback and Kindle format.
All right. Look, man, we got a few minutes left here. Here's your chance to speak from the depths of your soul to tell this listening audience, why should they, as a consumer, purchase The Color of Love?
If you want a story that you can relate to, love that you are looking for, searching for, desiring for, a person that you want to love, I recommend reading this book, because it may be very much a roadmap to the type of love that you're looking for and desiring for and trying to grow for yourself in your life. And it's exactly what I think all of us should strive for. It's the type of love that I've written about. And it's come from my experiences through pain, through failed relationships, and how I believe I should have acted from a male's perspective in those were failed relationships. So it encompasses everything good about love. And I just poured it all into one book.
So that leads to the next question I have for you. Is this book a reflection of your own experience?
A lot of people have asked me that. I have taken certain factors from past relationships that I've had and incorporated them in the book. But if I would have to relate to a character, of course it would be the main character, Ben. It would be how I would love a woman. So it's factual that from a future sense. In the future, yes, this will be me.
Look, man, we got a few minutes left here. I want to ask you, what other genres do you want to release if you had a chance to write more books?
My next project will be a mystery book. And from mystery book, I want to get involved into writing a series. I don't know what type of genre it will be, but it will be a series. But my next book will be a mystery book. But at the end of my career, I want to be able to say that I've written completely everything that I had in me out of me. I want to give everything that I have into me into the world through my literature.
Well, you've done an excellent job, man. You answered my next question of what can we expect next. But I still got one more.
Yes, sir.
I got one more. We know your next one you want to do a mystery. But I got to ask you in regards to The Color of Love, can we expect a sequel?
If Yes, if my fans demand a sequel, because I'm always accommodating to my readers. If they would love a sequel, then yes, I will create a sequel. But there are no, right now, there are nothing in the works for a sequel, but it will be if they demand it.
If you guys are out there listening, you heard him. Let's put some pressure on Donavon. Donavon says that if the fans demand a sequel, then yes, there will be a sequel.
Yes.
I'm really, really sure that if you gave him an opportunity and you purchased the book and you read it and you enjoyed it, then you wouldn't have any problems helping me put that kind of pressure and demanding another book as a sequel to The Color of Love. Don, thank you, man,
Thank
so
you, sir.
much for taking
Thank
some
you.
time to do the interview, letting the world know what you've done. Great book. In our closing minute here, I'm going to get out of the way and allow you to speak to the listening audience and leave your last words with them.
Okay. My readers, if you could follow me on my social media platforms, which is Facebook, Instagram at author D.Brown, and on my Twitter page, which is DBrownAuthor. And you can also register online at my website, www.authordbrown. Sign up for the newsletter to find out about upcoming projects and releases that I have coming out. I want to thank you guys for your support, your kind words of wisdom, your inspirations. There are some of you out there that I appreciate that I think you don't even know that you were inspirations. And so I want to thank you for that. And I thank you for this opportunity to speak, Kevin Zimmerman. And I also would like to say to my beautiful baby daughters and to love that I love you all, thank you.
Don, that's a wrap. Good job, man. Best wishes on The Color.
Thank you, sir.
Well.
Okay.
That's it.